There we go. Don't know how much battery I have, but now these have grown through 2 to 4 times bigger than when I planted them last month. And I'm liking that a lot. And they are very happy. That's a new bloom, and it's gotten dark. It went from blue silver to that color because it's happy. The licorice is really growing back there, that dark one next to the elephant bush. The elephant bush has grown. And this is just an amazing echeveria right there of avoides, agavoides, agavoides. That's Mexican, and I do have a couple of those. I have one right next to it that's starting to take off. That is in such a shallow pot, and I am so surprised it is doing amazing. And someday I'll get a Romeo and a lipstick. I would kind of like that. And the purple delight or ghost. I was thinking it's a ghost, and I read where it could be a purple delight, but it's doing awesome. It's gotten twice as big. And I still have work to do back here. Put my elephant ears back here. I purchased one of those great big huge giant ones online, and it had 3 small leaves, and then they died. It's not doing too well. Any suggestions, please write in the comment. And I gotta clear this all out. I have a staghorn I gotta put back up. We were supposed to get Ian head on before it changed, so I had to move a lot of plants. So I'm just getting them back on top of redoing the garden. I do have all my orchids, and I have a new little orchid I'll show you over there. And all my Hawathias and aloes are doing great. I think I know where I want to put the ivy. I've always wanted ivy. And I guess I've gotten 2 different colors, so that's not bad. I'm not too unhappy about that. These right here is a brand new batch of baby desert roses that I grew from seed right there. Yeah, we don't want to see the cigarette butts. Yeah, well, somebody like me has to have a fault, right? And then I have a ton of other little plants that I need to put in dirt. They have crusted over and time to root them. Yeah, this Euphorbia millii crown of thorns has really taken off. It was just a few twigs and pretty bare and not flowering, and now it's taken off. I like to do the 3-tier flower pots. And this is the other side of the garden, on the other side of the sidewalk. And this is our stray cat, Sammy. I have 2 little dogs that chase cats, so I can't bring her in the house, but I feed her. She's fixed. She has her shots. She already had a litter of kittens before she was fixed, and I homed the surviving kitten, and now she needs a home. She is a wonderful cat. Over here is where I have my drainage from my gutter, because we do have Florida deluge during our rainy season. Of course, it hasn't rained in 3-4 weeks, which I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't mind if it rained, but this is what this looks like. And then I put this arch over the top, and I'm using, which is a beautiful stone, Polynesian Firelight Stone. It looks really cool. Looks better when it's wet. And these flowers are doing awesome. These succulents, rather, the elephant bush, and there's a licorice in there, and there's a PVN. That's a Echeveria Pearl von Nuremberg. Now, the green rock there is Caribbean rock, and it's that's not its home. I'm just experimenting to see if it looks good next to the black volcano glass. But you want to be careful picking up because the black volcano glass or any volcano glass, because it is glass, and even if you're real careful, you can get a few cuts. And I just put limestone, which is the predecessor to granite, putting the granite up front and the limestones in back, and that's the previous garden out there. You can tell by the divider that's the old garden that I'm redoing now, and down below is a new garden. And I also have a tiered rock design for succulents. My plumeria is doing great. That's a super mini dwarf pizzazz. It has yellow, white, and pink flowers, and someday I'll see the flowers. And I also covered it with the Polynesian Firelight. That's inside the dry river. And I love the fact this is giant blue, is the ruffled Echeveria, and it has flowers. And letting your Echeverias and your succulents flower does drain the mothers, but this was so pretty I just couldn't resist. So, and then we get into the cactus section over here. See, originally I was going to end at the zigzag and discovered that I didn't have enough room to put all the cactus. So this is where we're going with this. I extended it out, and I put the red lava rock, and that's where I put cactus and my agaves, and my bougainvillea is right there. I was going to bonsai that, but I let it grow so long I didn't have the heart to cut it back. But if it doesn't do well, I can always cut it back and bonsai it. Now that agave I got as a tiny, tiny little cutting, and it's probably at least 3 or 4 years old, but I decided to bring it out, and I've gotten like 10 babies from it, and it's refilled itself with more pups, and I'm basically going to pineapple it, and that's its new home. I'm probably going to decompose this pot right here. It's a little stringier than I like, and the Canna Chloe flapjack looks like it might start to bloom, which means it's going to die when it blooms. And I do have some O'Toole that's several years old under there, blue O'Toole, and some elegance right there. I want to move those. Those are several years old. And my pickle plant is right there. although it's not in the greatest dirt, this agave has had pups, and I do recommend you not taking the pups when they're too little. I did, and these pups tend to be bigger than the ones I took 6 months ago, so let them grow before you take them. Uh, and some of my desert roses has lost their leaves, which is okay because we unexpectedly here in Florida went down to 34 degrees, which is scary because it said 43 degrees. And I have cubic ice there, and I've got some cubic ice on my lanai that I've crested. And I do think this plumeria is going to bloom before too long. Wouldn't that be nice? Have some more fire sticks. And it lost its leaves, but it's starting to get leaves back and starting to bloom again. It goes through this quite often. So far in the last 4 months, this is the third blooming. So I'm okay with that. I'm not too unhappy with that at all. This one doesn't lose its leaves, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's a double black red, and I'm going to have some seeds and grow some here. And I can't tell if this is happy or not, but this did bloom. So I added some licorice and some elephant bush to it and see how it works now. And over here are all these desert roses. I have 14 different colors, and they were an inch tall when I first got them. So I'm very proud of myself because they are looking amazing. And my yucca tree is finally taking off. Oh, and my lithrips. They've already bloomed. One already bloomed, and then now two started to bloom, and they're blooming. These are my lithrips. Aren't those gorgeous? Right there. And that's my ghosty crests. I've got 2 of them right there. My lithrips and my collection. Some more desert roses that lost their leaves. So this is pretty much, we're actually, I was going to say we're pretty much the end of seeing just about everything, but you know, just like a restaurant, you don't eat everything when they ask you how is everything. And there's my black prince. It's not a black knight. There is a big difference between a black prince and black knight, and it's blooming, and that is a black prince right there. No, that's a black prince. I don't think I have a black knight in here yet. Huh, I'll have to change that situation. Unless that's a black prince. Right there. That's my variegated bougainvillea bonsai. And that branch limb that's out there is relatively new. In the last 2-3 months. Is for almost a year it's been limbless, and I was wondering. And up against the tree right there, that's my Japanese Fukin tea tree bonsai. And then I have the Japanese ginseng bonsais right there. I think that pretty much covers. This is where my spares for decoration I'm hanging right now to use later. And these have multiplied greatly. And I love those. So I think we are wrapping up this garden and starting to clean up, but we do have a lot of area to fill. I picked up this ficus. It was $15 at Walmart, but marked on clearance for $2, so I thought that was a good deal. I have a lot of bromeliads that I'm going to be repotting. I'm going to repot them in here, and I haven't gotten started yet on that one. This is my shelf. Underneath are going to be more bromeliads because I have several of them there. And I'm going to take the babies from here, these bromeliads, because they all have 3 to 4 babies each, or pups. Here's the garden from this view. Oh, my poor lemon tree. It's about 5 to 7 years old, but it has a couple of lemons on it. And that's my great big huge, and I believe 4 years old, Euphorbia millii, crown of thorns. And I have this, it's going to town, and it has 3, I believe, buds in the middle, which I am not hating, trust me on that. And a blue o'toole will never let you down if you want something that's hardy and grows big. And this is a super bomb, or you can call it a superbum, but everyone calls it a super bomb. Yeah, not Kim Kardashian's. Okay, and I still have these plants to deal with here. Somebody tried to steal my chair the other night. It's iron, so it weighs a lot. So what did I do? I put volcano fiberglass with some marble and limestone around it. Trust me, first time they cut themselves, they won't take my stuff again. And I'm gonna move those, decompose those and move those out. Well, that's what we have right now for our garden. Yep. And those just went through a bloom, but it went through the hard frost. But all the crust on the outside will blow away and have new cactus up there. So this is pretty much it. Thank you for watching my channel. Again, my name is Betty Jo Bunker. Please subscribe, hit like, and notifications. And let's make this go viral. Thank you, and have a blessed evening.